So, okay, sir, I'm starting now. So, audience, today I have a very distinguished guest speaker, and I think the distinguished word is small for his introduction. A great honor to have Professor Masood Adris. So, he is professor in Islamic history and civilization. Thank you so much, sir, for joining.
Thank you very much for your invitation.
So, sir, please, first of all, I would like to ask that why you selected this subject, the history and Islamic civilization, and what was the inspiration behind this? And also, little bit you can share about your childhood experience, that how you started your early lives.
Thank you, Brother Ali and Miss Rabia and other friends here. The relationship of there is a relationship between my selection or specialization that I am enjoying these days. It goes back to my childhood and my environment where I grew up. I come from, today its name is North Macedonia, which is located in the North Greece, West Bulgaria, East Albania, South Serbia. And when I was born in Yugoslavia. That time used to be called Yugoslavia. It was Socialist Federative Republic of Yugoslavia. And I come from a very traditionalist family that are known in the region, in the Balkans, not in Macedonia only, in the Balkans, Macedonia, Kosovo, Albania, Greece, and Bulgaria, and that part of the world are known people with that Ottoman tradition, if I may say. Ottoman tradition, but not the way how the Turkish serials are showing the Ottomans. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about more traditionalists and more hierarchic family. So when I came to my interest was mostly on physics, and when I was in primary school and secondary school, physics and mathematics. History and geography was for me like a toy or tool for me to understand physics and mathematics. Mm-hmm. And of course, there are three things, the history, geography, and languages. Mm-hmm. Languages are inseparable of all these things. In my family, I speak Albanian and Turkish. Outside Macedonian and former Yugoslavian language. So this was intriguing me to expand myself further, But when it came to pursue my studies further, I was not given the chance to pursue my studies in my own country. And basically, it was due to the environment where I am coming from, particularly the family. And at that age, I was asked by my father, who passed away just almost a year ago. On the 1st November, it will be 1 year. And he asked me, would you like to go out of the country, to pursue your studies? And he said, why don't you go to Syria, Damascus? So those days, you could not, as I said, that hierarchy of the family, I could not go against the proposal of my father. And I accepted the proposal, and I went. I went at a young age. What intrigued me, that in Yugoslavia, there was a kind of very strange slogan, which I will try to translate it literally to you. It was a kind of like, it was called Bratstvo Jedinstvo, unity and brotherhood. This was the slogan of Yugoslavia, But when you came to the real life, there was no brotherhood, neither the unity. always there was a kind of like discriminations, this kind of stuff. So that intrigued me, and I was going to Syria by land, and my first impression of Turkey at the border of Turkey, which now it is removed, by the way.
Oh.
There is a kind of there was a huge letters written in Turkish, "Ne mutlu Türk'üm diyene." What a pleasure to call yourself Turk. And I said to myself, this is a little bit, it smells a little bit fishy. If I'm not Turk or Turkish, so I don't have that pleasure. So these kind of things intrigued me. And in Syria, I went to Syria. After I learned Arabic, the Syrian version of Arabic, let me say, street language, let me put like that, I saw some advertisements, on the streets, propaganda of the state, on Arabism. I will not mention what was mentioned, and this intrigued me too, and then later on, after 7 years, I was reading about East and West. I wanted to get out of that Pandora box. I was reading extensively about Southeast Asia and the West. I applied to France and I could not get visa.
Oh.
And my second option was Southeast Asia. And you remember during 1990s, Southeast Asia was considered kind of like they used to call tigers of of
Asia?
East. Sorry.
I thought it's tiger of East Asia.
Yes, something that like Asian tigers, something like that on economic development. And I was thinking which country could be suitable, Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Singapore, or Malaysia. I chose Malaysia, and I had a meaning behind it. Malaysia, because it is multiracial society. You have different races, multi-religious society, multilingual society, and multicultural society, blended together for historically a long time. The immediate communication with the public was English or Malay. So if you go to Indonesia, you will face difficulty in the language. If you go to Thailand, you will face difficulty. And so I chose Malaysia, and I went and I spent quite a bit of time of my life there, almost 15, 16 years, where I finished my master, PhD. And during that time, I discovered an institute which was founded and directed by Professor Said Mohammed Naqib Al-Attas, very prominent figure in the world. He established an institution, postgraduate institution there. It's called International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization. In short form was ISTAC. So I discovered that institution, and I get to know the professors there, and I was given the chance and responsibility, not only chance, responsibility to do my master and my PhD. In a short period of time, I completed my master and my PhD. Again, in the PhD level, I wanted to do 2 PhDs, one in Canada, in McGill University, Institute of Islamic Studies, and one in Malaysia. I wanted East and West. But again, I faced a huge difficulty. Although I paid my tuition fees and everything, I found very powerful sponsor. But I was accepted to McGill University, but I was refused entry visa to the federal territory of Canada. So I focused myself on Malaysia. I finished in 2002. Immediately, I started working there, and I explored myself into academia. When it comes to history and civilization, I thank my professors on that matter, the way how they projected to me history. It is not that, and misconceptions in history.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I recall when I joined the present university where I am now, University of Sharjah, my colleagues asked me, are you, which area do you fall, modern and contemporary history or Islamic history? I start laughing, because I know where is the problem here, This notion of modern and contemporary history is applied for Europeans, not for us. Europeans went through that kind of antique history, early medieval history, late medieval, modern, postmodern history. We did not have this. I'm talking about Muslims, Islamic civilization. We did not have this. We started with maturity. When I say maturity, I'm referring to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a prophet, and the Quran was there. Quran was correcting all these misconceptions and was giving a new definitions to the Arabic language terminologies and giving examples from the history. So it started with maturity. That is why in most of the works, be it in Pakistan, in Turkey, or in other parts of the world, they call it golden age, the later period. And it starts with the Prophet Muhammad all the way to the 3rd century, 4th century of Hijrah. So that the whole period was supposed to be a model for us. And we started with the maturity. And then we developed things further. But maturity was there. In their case, I'm talking here Europe, because Europe invented this kind of thing. In their case, they don't have these terminologies. They started with antique. And later on, there was a period of time where, look at the terminology that they call it Renaissance, which is translated into Arabic, Nahda. And there is a big mistake in no one is questioning this Renaissance. Why do they call Renaissance? And Renaissance is somehow like somebody was sleeping for a period of time and suddenly woke up, and they were blaming Islamic civilization for that period of sleepiness.
Yeah, true. I agree.
So this kind of things should be, I guess, in my opinion, understood well. And it took me, I don't like to study history personally in this case, from chronological perspective, because chronological perspective should be already well built in ourselves. But thematic approach to the history, philosophic approach to the history is much more useful. And I have my own personal, I was writing sometime on the, what they call this, I was columnist, writing in several places, under the pen name Global Spectrum. Not local, not global, Global Spectrum.
Okay.
Which this terminology has been invented last 28, 29 years. It has become a kind of philosophical terminology. And then it is applied now in various areas. So in that thing, I have been trying to go into the further issues, study this matter, and put it forward to the students, yeah, this is in short when it comes to the my focus towards this the study of history, civilization, because my aim ultimately is civilization rather than history. History for me is like a material. Material in order for me to focus to civilization.
But, and for the history, sir, how to believe that there are a number of incidences in the Islamic history? For example, the incidents of the different tenure of the different leaders, including the Umayyad and Abbasid and all that. And also, if, for example, if we call the incidents of the Karbala and then all that. So there are a number of different opinions that some people and scholars wrote about that this is not actually like this and this is not actually like this. So how you relate the evidence that how we should trust?
If you take as a like what I do in the last 20 over years, I have been putting Quran
Mhm.
as a reflection
Mhm.
from Quran as a reflection. What do I mean by Quran as a reflection? When I study the history, I will try to take the necessary points from that
Mhm.
history. Let's say my motto generally has been motto of, in tasawwuf,
Yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah.
in Sufism, we have something called dhikr, isn't it? Tadakkur, tafakkur,
Mhm.
takhayyul. These three notions are very important. So I try to I apply these three notions with regard to the history, with regard to the civilization. I kind of like, yes, we remember the past, but we do not stick to the past and stay there,
Yeah, yeah.
We have to think, we have to filterize those information that we get from the past in order for us to imagine, to
Yeah,
imagine the
yeah,
future. So if we just stick and stuck on the past,
yeah.
and
Mhm.
we try to dig more and more on the issues, we will not be able to prosper in that, So, for instance, for us, let's say this semester, current semester, I am teaching two courses, undergraduate and one PhD. In undergraduate courses, I teach a university course. One is
Mhm.
Islamic civilization, the other one is Islamic history. And
Okay.
in both of them, I apply different methodology,
Okay.
And I will advise students in Islamic history. I will advise students to pick up thematic issues.
Okay.
Let's say Quran introduced to us the concept of shura, consultative body.
Mhm.
This consultative body, those people who are in that organization or that association should have very good knowledge of
Mhm.
things. They should be scholars. They should be knowledgeable people.
Mhm.
But what Omar ibn Khattab, for instance, did,
Yeah.
he borrowed the institution from the Sassanid called Divan
Mhm.
institution, isn't it? And Divan today, in some countries, they call it even parliament to me.
Mhm.
Divan is a representative council, not consultative council, representative council. Does it go against the teachings? Because in Quran, you don't have description of the ruling,
Mhm.
what kind of system you should be having in it.
Yeah.
Quran gives you general prescriptions. Quran speaks about justice. Quran speaks
Mm.
about certain important elements that are related all the time, but never speaks about a system, what kind of system you should be following. So consultative body, and Umar ibn Khattab borrows an institution called Diwan and integrates Diwan to our civilization. It was such
Mhm.
a beautiful thing. So if you look from that perspective, that how beautiful could be the things that we can learn from the past and use it today and think for the future. Uh, but if we enter to the issues, how Muawiyah and how Yazid ibn Muawiyah, what was going on, we do not really,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
first 200 years, we don't really have a lot of historical uh, accounts.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
yeah.
not say book, but accounts, that are, in my PhD course. Normally, I try to compare historians during the 200 years and Rijal al-Hadith, those people who deal with the Hadith.
Mhm.
They hate each other. They even, to some extent, some of them, they kafirize each other, if I may call the word kafirize, they
Yeah.
blame it. So we have to be very careful the way how we look at the matters, and if it is on the benefit of different societies in the Muslim world,
Mhm.
we take it, and it does not contradict.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, sir, your talk is very interesting. Actually, I want to extend, but we only have last 5 minutes in this time. So just cover up the modernization with the Islamic ways, that now it's a very typical question, and also many people are confused that how we can implement Islam in our modern life. How?
You just answered it, I guess, Brother Ali. They are confused. There is a huge confusion.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
what major confusion, in my opinion, is that having this different experiences in different countries like Southeast Asia, Balkans, in Turkey. I had some experience in Turkey. In China, I was consultant to Chinese government for 2 years on Islam and Middle East and something like that. I have realized that there is a confusion in terms of the, let's say, you are trying uh, to uh, to um, to dress something that is doesn't fit your body.
Exactly, exactly.
So if you are wearing something that doesn't fit your body, how are you? It is going to be either so big or too small.
Hmm.
Our confusion, in fact, goes back to the proper educational system, that is beneficial to our own society. It doesn't matter where you are, whether you
Yeah,
are in this region where I am, or you are in Pakistan, or you are in India. Doesn't matter. According to your needs, you have to tailor it according to your needs, and you cannot just copy paste it from whatever they produce in Europe or in West. I don't like this terminologies, but since everyone is using, we cannot just copy paste it. Let's say theories regarding the social theories. We cannot take theirs and apply in our regions. Political theories, we cannot take
hmm,
and apply in our region because it will have wrong conclusions.
yeah,
We have to filterize it properly. We have to understand it properly. We have to restructure it according to the needs of our society, and then slowly, slowly to tailor the cloth according to let's say, why we don't discuss about the dress. We
yeah,
say this is Pakistani dress, this is Arab dress,
yeah,
and we respect them. We should respect also intellectual dress,
yeah.
intellectual mind of ours. So major confusion, I guess, is in knowledge,
Hmm.
knowledge, transforming knowledge and implementing that knowledge in without any. Let's say this is a water. We bring, let's say, it is water, yes, indeed. But if we put some other color, some kind of color inside, it is no longer water. It has shifted the color into something else. So if we just borrow from outside without any proper filterization, it is going to cause us a lot of issues. Particularly, when we, I'm a student of Islamic history and civilization. We have a lot of concepts, a lot of concepts, a lot of traditions that we have taken, let's say, from the Oriental institutions,
Yeah.
and completely as it is. In fact, they have understood it very well.
Hmm.
When we are transforming that into Urdu, into Arabic, what the way how they have
Yeah.
put forward, we are giving a wrong picture. We are
Exactly.
giving a wrong picture. So because that is the way how, and it goes to the schools, primary schools, secondary schools, to the university level, and it continues to have that confusion. Unfortunately, if we do not have a proper body, let's say today we speak about the happiness, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
There are a lot of ministries or centers or customer services, that what they call happiness of the customer.
Yeah.
We have ministries in some places. What kind of criteria we are using for the happiness? Are we using only statistics that you are driving Porsche, you are driving, having a big mansion or something, and then
Yeah.
finally, let's say North Europe,
Yeah.
Scandinavian region have been considered 25 years ago the happiest society. But when it comes to the committing suicide among women, is the highest rate in the world.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Singapore overtook just 10 years ago, overtook this part of. But the issue is is it working? Why there is a high committing suicide was in I guess it is continuing also in North Europe, in Baltic region, Scandinavian region. Look at the statistics. Let's say Singapore. There's a higher rate of committing suicide among women in Singapore, and advanced, what they call developed status. The country is considered developed status. So I guess there is an issue here. Yes, we should focus on achieving happiness, provided that we do not define happiness from 5 senses.
Yeah.
We have to avoid from that hedonistic approach. If we avoid from hedonistic approach, we come up with our own approach that is based on Quran, our values.
Yeah.
If I may, Quranic verse, Quran says very clearly on this matter. Shuf how it is interestingly, look at how it is interestingly looking to the issue of happiness from opposite meaning of happiness. Quran says, Taha ma anzalna alayka al-Quran litashqa. Look how it is interesting. It doesn't say that God was able to say, Taha anzalna alaykum al-Quran lis-sa'ada. He was able to say, but he did not say. He used the opposite way. He said, Taha ma anzalna. We have not revealed the Quran through wahi for you to experience tragedy, for you to experience misery. See, the word shaka there is not only misery, it's tragedy also. So if we look at the issues, from this kind of perspectives, and study the history, you see, history plays a big role here, the elements. I will give you an example, and perhaps you can wrap it up, the discussion. In the past, governments, when they were, let's say, you, Mr. Ali, you are entrepreneur, you want to establish hospital, for instance. Government was sending muhtasib that was in charge of checking, studying the matter.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you want to build a hospital in an area where the oxygen level is bad, is dusty, dirty, you are not able to build hospital there. You are banned to build hospital, but I have money. No one cares about your money, because ultimately it is service issue. Look at the role of Waqf. I studied Ottoman court records, judicial documents. That's my PhD actually, on Ottoman court records, Sijillat al-Shar'iyya. It is very interesting that one day I asked my supervisor, I said to him, why don't we find the allocation of the funds of the government are not on welfare, on the roads, or hospitals, or health issues, my supervisor laughed at me. He said, look, these issues, welfare, public services, roads, building roads, bridges, or whatever it is, hospitals, were provided by Waqf, Awqaf, that is called, and it was free of charge. And it was not saying that you are Ali, are you Muslim? You can get the services. Or you are not Muslim. No. Services were open for all. Everyone was benefited.
Exactly.
So there is a kind of check and balance. Always there should be something check and balance on these issues. Singapore, since we mentioned Singapore realized this issue recently. They started from where? From the scratch. They started from the primary schools. They start building that environment for the primary schools. And they are learning from different histories. Doesn't matter. They don't say that they are not against any kind of histories of the past. Whatever they see beneficial for their society, they go and take it. And that's what we were doing throughout the history of Islamic civilization. Al-hikmatu dallatun ala al-mu'minin. Wisdom is a lost property of a believer. Wherever he finds it, he takes it. So everyone is able to take it. If we apply this system, it will be probably beneficial for all of us.
Exactly.
Sir, I would like, what is the present trend of students towards Islamic civilization?
The issue, I will try to be as brief as I can on this, is for them, in their mind, when you say Islamic civilization, they understand it to be Islamic history.
Yeah.
And I tell them that, it takes me 2-3 weeks at the beginning of semester to explain to them that, look, it's not Islamic history. It is something different. And if, let's say, the semester is 13 weeks or 14 weeks, it will take me at least 6 weeks during the semester to explain. I divide Islamic civilization into 3 categories, but interconnected with each other. Category of conceptual level, I call it conceptual level or conceptual phase, developmental phase, and the third one is sustainable phase. So I am trying to relate Islamic civilization to our days sustainability. Everyone is speaking about sustainability today, isn't it?
Yeah.
But we have Islamic civilization. Why don't we go and study properly? So if you prepare nice, proper dish to the students, then they will understand. And normally I tell to students, look, what you are going to experience in this semester, forget about your grading. Grading, I can give you grade any grade you want, but I want something. You as a student of engineering, you as a student of health sciences, as a student of psychology or medicine, pharmaceutics, something that you will be practicing in your future. To say after 10 years, I thank the methodology that I learned from Masood, that Masood gave me some hints what I could do in the future. So conceptual, developmental, and sustainability. These 3 methods, interconnected way. If you teach Islamic civilization, then they will realize. Unfortunately, none of them we are using today. Let's say sustainability, we don't have sustainability because we borrow everything from the West. Any system that they come with, we borrow from them. Doesn't matter which area of study, we borrow from them. And now they are realizing, look, we have it in our, and in Islamic civilization, there is something interesting that in our mind is always, when you say Islamic civilization, all the contributors to Islamic civilization are Muslim. No. And I will tell to students that there were 4 Al-Razis in Islamic civilization. Not all of them are Muslim. One of them is Faruddin Razi is Muslim. Zakaria Razi is Muslim. The other one is Zoroastrian. The other one is Christian. You see, there was no issue of religion. It's like today in NASA. If somebody applies, gets a job in NASA, are they going to ask you, oh, Mr. Ali, are you Muslim? We accept you, or you are not? They don't. They look up what you are contributing. So we can learn a lot from our own. And this method of new version of teaching of Islamic civilization perhaps could lead, if we avoid focusing only to Islamic history subject in Islamic civilization. We can use elements from Islamic history just to prove our aims and objectives in Islamic civilization. And if I may give example, if you permit me to give example, I was in the department council meeting in Kuala Lumpur in 2006. We had a number of friends from different countries, from Bangladesh, from Sudan, from Malaysia. There was a lecturer, he was blind. He was blind, Chinese convert to Islam, Abdurrahman Tang, Dr. Abdurrahman, may Allah bless him, always. He was blind with eye, that vision thing. But God takes something, gives something else. In the meeting, I said, because the department used to call history and civilization, I proposed to our friends, I said, Dr. Abdurrahman should teach only courses related to history and not civilization. They said, why? I said, he's having that disability of seeing, and civilization requires you to see. History, you can memorize a lot of data. It is just like a database. You can filterize the data, but civilization requires you to have that vision. So, and they thought that I am belittling Abdurrahman. Contrary, Dr. Abdurrahman turned to me and said, Masood is right. Because that is the civilization is something big picture there, It's not only database, database is in history.
Exactly.
Yes, this is in short.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Masood. It was very interesting talk. So finally, if someone asks two questions, then welcome. Miss Reem.
Yes, I have one question.
Yeah, please.
What do you think the reason behind that we are learning our civilization, our own civilization, from outsiders or non-Muslim peoples, for example?
Teaching civilization from outsiders is no problem, What is, let's say, if I don't know whether Reem, you are considering me outsider or insider.
No.
No,
Don't
I'm
get
just
me wrong.
trying to make it, elevate the situation a little bit to make it funny. But if they have that qualities regarding the Islamic civilization, they are welcome. But provided that, as I said at the beginning, languages, you cannot teach Islamic civilization and you don't know Arabic, for instance.
Yeah.
When I say Arabic, I'm talking about classical Arabic, not the modern hamburger Arabic. I name it. I have named it hamburger Arabic. Not. I don't mean hamburger Arabic. I am referring to classical, traditional, conceptual Arabic language. And you have to know if you are speaking about Islamic civilization. I have standards here. A person who focuses on Islamic civilization should know at least 10 languages. Should know very well Urdu, should know very well Bahasa Malayu, should know very well Persian, should know very well Ottoman Turkish. Otherwise, you cannot study these documents. You cannot study the history and Islamic civilization and pass it to the new generation. It will be always somewhere obstacle, So geography, I get surprised, The subject of geography, they exclude from geography, as I said at the beginning, geography, history, and languages are all interconnected with each other. So we should spare our time a little bit to learn more other languages too. Yes, we don't mind others to teach. Like you have a Japanese professor who was professor during 1940s in McGill University in Islamic Studies, Izutsu. He studied Quran. But Izutsu is a reference today. Look, Izutsu is a reference today. When you study about Quranic terminologies, but he knew all these major Muslim languages, Arabic, Urdu, Persian, Ottoman Turkish. He knew very well. He was professor of many professors today that we are experiencing or meeting today.
That's very true, because it could be the opposite as well. Us as Muslims, we also have knowledge of other religions and other civilization. Specifically in architecture, for example, because I have a design background, we used to study Umayyad and Abbasid and Mamluk, for example, architecture, along with Renaissance, Baroque, and all of and also the Dark Ages architecture, the Gothic architecture as well. It's not necessarily to Muslims, but we have to be open up to other civilizations as well.
I will give an example since you mentioned it here. I will give an example. Just 2 months ago, a very good friend of mine from Pakistan, professor, passed away. His name was Shabir Akhtar. I want you to take this note.
Shabir Akhtar.
Shabir Akhtar. He
Shabir.
lived in UK, in London.
Can you tell the spelling in the chat or
I can send it to Mr. Ali via WhatsApp.
Okay.
You know,
yes,
Shaber
continue.
Akhtar passed away two months ago. He was my friend, and he was teaching in Malaysia, and he was a professor in I think in University of London, if I am not mistaken, in the College of Divinity and Theological Studies. He knew classical Arabic. He knew classical Hebrew. He knew if you want to study their languages, their civilization too, you have to
Yes.
know. He knew very well Greek, old Greek. I'm not talking today's hamburger Greek or Kyros Greek, you know, this shawarma Greek. I'm talking about the classical one. But yet, people did not know how to value his knowledge. What happened? He went to the classroom. This was in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the classroom. He brought a 17th century Bible to the classroom. And he said, today, our lesson is every one of you should flip the pages of this Bible, 17th century Bible. Of course, students are 19, 20 years old. They complained. They said, he's asking us to touch Bible. My friend, he's not asking you to touch something dirty thing. Bible,
It's valuable. It's the essence.
you know, Bible for you, you cannot know Christianity if you don't read Bible. So it is very funny that, you know, they did not know how to value this kind of person. He went, he left the university, he went back to UK, and he continued until he passed away. He has a lot of, so we have similar examples a lot that we really need to go. I have one daughter. And I hope my daughter, focuses on languages, the classical languages. You know, if she wants to become some kind of expert in certain field, you know, she has to have that good background. Mentioned about architecture, you know. For instance, in November, after 1 month, we are having a very nice, we are organizing a conference, Arabo-Latino American cultural, architectural influences, you know. In order for you to know Arabo-Latin American relations, you know, in terms of architecture, you have to go and dig all these books, works, you know, and find out, you know, this kind of elements. So it is very important. And this kind of thing, in this kind of thing, you don't really need to have to be even a Muslim, you know, is open for all. I don't know from which university you are coming, in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah. He's from Saudi Arabia, Riyadh.
I am, yes.
You are
I
from
am
Riyadh. I have a very good friend who is among chief advisors to the project of Al-Ula, Professor Hisham Murtada.
Hisham Murtada, yes. He gave us a lecture in our university long time ago. I heard of him.
He is in King Abdulaziz University in Jeddah. I am going to see him after a month here. He is joining our program. Hisham Murtada is an excellent, you know, academic, you know, and he knows religion very well, but, you know, humbly he says that, you know, I'm not a man of religion, religious studies, you know, but he knows better than many of us, you know. So yeah, this is open for all, you know. It is al-hikmah, lost property of a believer. Wherever you find it, doesn't matter whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim, you find it and you take it, you know.
Yeah, true. So thank you so much, sir. Today's talk was one of the excellent talk, and I really feel honored. And I will also try to invite you here to Taiwan to deliver the talk in interactive way, that how Islam and the current society can do work together, and to make a message that how non-Muslims can know about the Islam and other religious concepts also. So thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for your invitation, and it was pleasure, to meet all of you here, Mr. Ali, Miss Rabia, and Miss Reem. Hope we keep in touch. I am very active in LinkedIn, in Instagram, in Facebook. Because of the students, I am active. Honestly speaking, it is sometimes wasting my time, but when I see that there is a kind of a lot of people like Mr. Ali, you came in touch with me, I guess, because of the postings that I am very active in posting different topics. I enjoy a lot of interesting topics. Let's say a friend of mine who was my roommate, he's writing a lot about coffee and coffee houses and coffee politics. It was playing an important, like today you have pubs in Europe or somewhere, or this kind of issues are thematic topics are very important.
Exactly.
One question that other than stock, can we please approach you or approach your content for our study and knowledge? Is there any platform? The content you teach, we can also study that material?
Your teaching material or something like that.
Yes. Sometime, let's say if it is a video thing, I am uploading to YouTube. Under my name is the YouTube, and I am the content. I just don't want information to be lost. So the videos I upload to my under my name. But generally, when it comes to books, articles, things, I am very prompt. Now I am talking with you. I am receiving number of texts from my students. They are asking some books, some articles also. So it is. I am available around the clock. That is my duty. At least that's what I can do to the colleagues, students, friends who are interested, who are thirsty for learning.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. I will share the talk and we will share the link with you also. See you next time with new topic also.
See you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.